My beloved child, I have knocked on the door of your soul through dreams, through moments of stillness, through reminders whispered by strangers you have crossed paths with, yet you have remained silent. I have waited, been patient, pleaded through every sign. The doorway into the realm of darkness does not swing open with a scream. It opens gradually when you stop turning toward the light. This is the last word I send, like the final rope thrown toward a soul that is sinking. Take hold of it. I see you still smiling, still succeeding, still receiving praise, yet your soul has begun to fracture. I hear you speak about me, but I no longer hear you speak to me. There are deaths that begin while one is still alive, and I fear you are standing in that very place. Do you know the greatest loss is not losing everything, it is losing me while believing you are fine. The quiet within your soul, where once a fire burned with longing for me, is now only the ashes of a weary faith. There is no cry, no rebellion, only a slow drifting silent yet certain away from your first love. You are busy, you serve, you live well, yet your heart is no longer mine. And in doing so, you are building for yourself a prison without a single wall. You think that being far from me is some great event, a dramatic fall. But no, it often begins in indifference. You still do good works, still go to church, still smile at people. Yet inside, your heart has stopped longing for me. And then you begin to fill the emptiness with other things, success, applause, noble reasons, sacred busyness. All the while your soul is drying up day by day, unnoticed by anyone. Do not think of hell as the place I use to punish you in the end. It is not merely a final sentence. Hell more truly is a soul no longer bound to me. It is the state of living without me while accepting it as normal. It is when you step out of communion with me and feel no loss. And in that moment, the flames need not yet burst forth, for your soul has already begun to fade. My child, I see your heart, even when it appears calm before others. I see the places that once blazed with fire now grown cold. I see every darkened corner of your soul, places where my light once dwelled now fallen silent. You do not turn away in some obvious way. No, you turn subtly, simply by no longer seeking me. You still do the right things, still speak the right words, but I am no longer at the center of your heart, and you think I do not notice. You have learned to live without me, little by little. At first it was just weary days when you did not pray. Then it became the thought, I'm fine, when you drifted from my word. I do not blame you. I know the weariness of life, but, my child, that is when you need me most. Indifference does not arrive in a moment, it drips like midnight rain that rots the roots. When you stop seeking me, you do not stand still, you drift, and you do not even realize you are sinking. There is one whom few remember, King Saul. A man I once chose, anointed, and gave authority, but he wandered not because of some first blatant sin, but because he began acting on his own and no longer waited for my voice. When he acted without waiting for me, he thought it was for the kingdom, for the people, but truly his heart no longer placed me above all. Do you see? At the end of his life, Saul sought out a medium to hear a prophecy because I no longer spoke to him. Do you see? When a soul no longer turns toward me, it will search for a substitute even in the darkness. You think hell is a punishment, but hear me, it begins as a choice. It is when your soul no longer desires my presence. When my words no longer stir or move you, when you hear my name and your heart does not tremble as it once did, hell takes root there in those moments of numbness you consider normal. A soul does not die because of fire, but because it silently withers in indifference. It is in those moments when you feel nothing is wrong that you must be most alert. For spiritual death is not an accident, it is a process. And I, as your father, grieve to see you fading day by day, but I have never left. I still stand at the door of your heart and knock. Do not let this silence linger until you can no longer hear my voice. I am still calling you. And if you turn even one small step, I will embrace you like the father welcoming home the prodigal without demanding explanation. But you must see before it is too late, for your soul was never made to live without me. There are things that look like light, yet shine from a place where light no longer dwells. There are works you call service, but in my eyes they are hollow masks. I am not moved by the volume of your song, the length of your prayer, or the hours you devote to doing good. I look deeper into why you do it, into the state of your heart, And sometimes what grieves me most is seeing you immerse yourself in all things about me, yet live without me. You can preach even with brilliance. You can use my name to heal, to counsel, to lead others. But if you do not live in intimacy with me, it is all a shell. Do you remember those whom my son warned about? They came on the last day saying they had done many wonders in my name, but I had to say to them, I never knew you. They did things for me, but not with me. They spoke about me, but never dwelled in me. That truth, my child, is harsh but necessary, for I do not seek those who do much. I seek those who belong. Sin is not always blatant rebellion. It is subtler, quieter. It can wear religious robes, speak holy words, and still kill love within. There are things you do that look like obedience, but in truth are just efforts to keep an image to gain approval from others. There are sacrifices you lay before me that do not spring from love, but from duty or fear. I do not want those gifts. I want your heart. Not perfect, just true. Faith is not measured by the number of times you attend church or by great works accomplished. True faith is when you desire me in the smallest things, in the quiet hour, in the whisper, in the unseen moments. It is when you choose me over praise. It is when you say no to something good if it dims the intimacy between us. I am not looking for a spiritual resume full of achievements. I seek a heart that longs for me like daily bread. A true friend, not merely a loyal servant. My child, be careful, for the very things that seem spiritual can lead you farthest from me. This is the greatest trap. You think you are near me simply because you are working for me. But love is not duty. It is presence. It is choosing to be with me, not because you must, but because you cannot live without me. If your heart is not flowing toward me each day, then even if you move the whole world to tears, you are still wandering. Stop, look back, and ask yourself, do I truly know him or only know how to work for him? My beloved, many have misunderstood. My grace, they think it is a cloak that covers every wrong, so they can go on living in sin without changing. But no, grace is not permission. It is an invitation to step out of chains. I do not give grace so you can feel safe standing at the cliff's edge, but to pull you back before you fall. Every time you use my mercy as an excuse, your soul takes one step deeper into bondage. And what breaks my heart most is when you call that freedom. Remember that grace was poured out at the highest cost, my only son. The cross is not a symbol to hang on your neck and forget its meaning. It is the death sentence for your old self. Without death, there is no new life. Without surrender, there is no power. You cannot embrace the cross and still keep your sin as a keepsake. Grace does not tolerate the old, it kills it at the root so you can live in true freedom. There are compromises you make simply because you think God understands me. And yes, I understand you, but not to leave you where you are. I understand to heal, not to overlook. If you truly understand grace, you will not dare to live carelessly. You will tremble in gratitude. For true love does not leave you indifferent. It compels you to change. Grace does not make you feel fine while you sin. It makes you unable to bear having wounded me. The day you received grace was the day you signed the death sentence for your self-life, not once, but every day. Every time you are angry, every time you seek revenge, every time you want to give up, you are called to die to these things. Grace will give you the strength to overcome, but it will not spare you from the fight. It will not make the journey easy. It will only make it not lonely. And every time you fall, it will lift you up, but never to leave you where you are. My call is not for the double-minded. I do not accept compromise, for I know it will kill you slowly. Grace is the strong hand that pulls you out of the abyss, but you must release what is holding you back. I have done my part, redeemed you, called you, equipped you. The rest is surrender, not in part but in whole, not temporarily but forever. For only when you give your entire soul will you truly experience the freedom that grace promises. My child, if the world praises something too loudly, be careful, for it may be leading you away from me. The world does not hate darkness, it celebrates it. It does not fear sin. It makes sin attractive and worthy of applause. What I call holy, it calls outdated. What I declare as life, it mocks as foolish. And you, if you are not watchful, will gradually blend into that applause without realizing you have turned your back on the light. Do not let the standard of the crowd define what is acceptable. Do not let media culture or personal feelings teach you what is right. Only I am the unchanging truth. If you allow the world to shape your faith, it will slowly distort that faith until it no longer resembles me. You will begin to rationalize sin. You will use the word tolerance to justify, compromise, and call love what does not come from truth. But true love never betrays truth. The approval of the crowd is not proof of what is right. For most of history, those who belonged to me were misunderstood, opposed, even killed. Do you remember when my son walked the earth, they shouted to crucify him only days after welcoming him as king? Do not be deceived by fleeting cheers. The world can turn in an instant. And if you keep chasing its approval, your soul will be worn down until nothing of me remains in your heart. Learn to live for the gaze of heaven, not the applause of men. Ask Father, does this please you, not will. People approve of this. For in the end it will not be them who judge you, not social media, not the audience, not friends. It will be me. And I do not look at outward appearances. I search the heart. If your heart is filled with what the world loves, you will find yourself a stranger before my throne. You cannot befriend the world and remain faithful to me. Light cannot merge with darkness without being dimmed. If you truly belong to me, the world will not easily accept you, but you will have a peace the world cannot give. I did not call you out to be applauded. I called you out to live differently, and that difference will cost you, but it will also make you more like me. And do you know, to be like me, that is true glory. My beloved, not everything that draws you away from me comes in the form of obvious sin. Sometimes the most dangerous things are those that seem harmless. The tasks you must do, the people you should meet, the pleasures you deserve after a long day. The enemy does not need to drag you into complete darkness. He only needs to keep you busy long enough to make you forget me. He does not need to destroy you violently, only to shift you slightly off course enough for your soul to slowly drain away while you think you are still fine. There are days you wake with your mind full of tasks, your heart full of worry, and you forget the time with me. There are nights you are so tired that you scroll your phone instead of opening my word. And you think, just for today. But today becomes a chain of days. Distraction is a slow-acting anesthetic. It does not kill you instantly, but it numbs you until you feel nothing at all. Your first love cools. My voice grows faint because you have allowed too many other voices to drown it out, and one day you look back but you no longer hear me. It is not only busyness that distances you from me. There is another quieter thing, bitterness. Wounds you never spoke of, tears you kept hidden, moments when you felt I was silent when you needed me most. You hold on to the pain as if it were sacred, thinking that if you let it go you will lose your justice. But my child, it is that very thing that imprisons you. Bitterness is the poison your soul drinks slowly, and it chokes out life forgiveness and the longing for me within you. Do not let wounds become walls between you and me. Bring to me the unanswered questions, the unspoken disappointments, the hurts you think I cannot understand. I do not turn away those who come to me in pain. On the contrary, I wait to heal. But I cannot heal what you refuse to release, what you build your life upon. Letting go is not because they deserve it, it is because you deserve to be free. You were made to live in the light, not in the shackles of your own emotions. Forgiveness is not a feeling, it is a choice. It is the act of placing justice in my hands instead of your own. It is the decision to believe I am still righteous, even when you have not yet seen the outcome. When you forgive, you are not weak. You are stronger than ever because you have chosen to step out of the shadow of bitterness into the light of my presence. Give me that wound, and you will see in the very place where you are broken, I will build what is eternal. My child, if you truly understood my heart, you would know why I have not yet shut the door. It is not because I forget nor because I ignore sin. I am not blind to evil, but I am patient, not out of weakness, but because my mercy is deeper than the ocean, wider than any punishment you can imagine. I see it all, every soul drifting away, every person hardening their heart, everyone who rejects me, yet believes they are doing well. I see, I know, yet I wait. I wait because I know eternity is irreversible. Once that door closes, it will never open again. And I, as a father, do not easily give up the child I have loved enough to sacrifice everything for. You think I am doing nothing, but my delay is the greatest act of mercy. Every day, every hour that passes is a narrow door still open for someone to return. Some you believe will never change, yet I see the hidden seed beginning to sprout. Some hearts seem dry and hard as stone, yet I see the first cracks where the light can enter. I am not as hopeless as man. I still hope, for I know what I have planted in them. Heaven is not a reward for the moral. It is the home of those whose very nature has been transformed by my spirit. If I allowed an unreborn soul to enter heaven, would not be heaven to them, for its light would pierce the darkness they still embrace. Every song of worship would break their hearts, not from tenderness, but from exposure. A place where love is the highest law would be unbearable to those who live in selfishness. You cannot pretend there. No mask can survive my glory, and for this reason I wait, for I do not want anyone to face eternity unprepared. Have you ever found yourself quietly withdrawing from me, not out of hatred, but because you feel unworthy? You think it is humility. But I tell you, it is the sign of a heart not yet healed. When you carry bitterness, compromise the lashes of shame or pride, my presence will not comfort you. It will make you want to hide like Adam in the garden. Not because I drive you away, but because the darkness within you cannot stand before my light. I will not stop you. It is your own heart that cannot bear my presence unless you let me transform you from within. And so I am patient. I delay. But this patience is not eternal. One day the final call will sound, and in that moment there will be no more days, no more chances to change, to repent, to return. Not because I close the door in anger, but because every opportunity has been given. I am not unjust. Before I judge, I always warn. Before I shut, I always knock. And if a soul never opens it, is that soul who locks itself away from me, not I who locks it out of heaven. Do not mistake my silence for agreement. Do not take the delay of judgment as proof of acceptance. I may be silent, but my heart still aches. I may not intervene immediately, but I see every step you take. Every time you compromise, every time you turn away from my whisper, every time you choose comfort over truth, I see, and I call, not with thunder or disaster, but with gentle whispers. Through small things, a word, a song, a fleeting sense in your heart, I use whatever I can to stir your soul, as long as you can still feel. Oh, my child, do not let your heart grow hard. Do not live forgetting that eternity waits ahead. Every choice you make today leaves an engraving on your soul. And one day, those engravings will define who you are, one who belongs to me, or one who has separated themselves from me. I do not use hell to threaten you. I simply show you the end result of a life without me. It is not an arbitrary punishment. It is the natural consequence of a soul cut off from its source of life. You cannot live without me, and you cannot die without me, but you must be the one to choose. My heart longs for you in ways you cannot imagine. If you knew how patiently I have waited, how I have held back things that should have happened just to give you more time. If you knew how many prayers of intercession I have heard on your behalf, you would never dare to say that. I am silent. I am working in that silence. I am stirring your heart with every heartbeat, with every undeserved opportunity you still receive. And if today you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Come closer. Do not wait until you see everything clearly. Do not wait until you feel good enough. I do not call the perfect. I call those who dare to surrender. I do not wait until you are without stain. I welcome you in your filthiest state, if only you are willing for me to cleanse you. The cross is not the place where I stand to judge you. It is the place where I stretch out my arms to receive you and all your pain. Do not refuse those arms out of shame. Do not turn away because you feel unworthy. No one is worthy, yet I still choose them, and I choose you. You do not know how many souls you can influence. Every return of yours will draw many other returns. I see those who are silently watching you, family, friends, those who think you do not matter. But when you live in me, the light you carry will cause them to recognize their own darkness, not through loud words, but through a transformed life. Live like a spark in the midnight darkness. Live like one who knows heaven is waiting ahead. Live like one who does not belong here. I will not abandon you, never, but you must let go of the things that hold you back. Let go of distractions. Let go of bitterness. Let go of the selves you think are your honor. Let go of relationships that only pull you away from me. Let go of the fear of being hurt, for I am the only safe place. And when you truly let go, you will see I have always been here. Not far away, but right where your heart waits to be awakened. My child, I do not want anyone to be left behind, not one. But no one can enter my kingdom without being reborn in the Holy Spirit. I do not want them to come out of fear nor for reward. I want them to come because of love, love for me and love for truth. And that love is born only in surrender. So today I call you again, not with fire and thunder, but with my very heart. My child, if you could see, my heart looked deep beyond the images the world has assigned to me. As a distant, angry, or silent God, you would see what human eyes cannot, the heart of God bleeding daily for love that has not been returned. I am not silent because I am indifferent. I am not slow because I forget. Nothing that happens on this earth escapes my sight. Every tear, every quiet sigh, every cry for help from a wounded soul, I have heard them all. And my child, I am still patient, but that patience is not proof of indifference. Do not mistake my silence for approval. Do not think that just because I have not acted, I do not see. It is precisely because I see everything that I still wait, still delay, still give you one more day, one more chance to turn back. But that does not mean I will wait forever. Do you understand? Every day I wait is a day my heart carries a burden, the burden of choices that lead to destruction of souls drifting away from me, never to return. When someone dies without knowing me, heaven does not just lose a citizen. My heart loses a child I formed, loved, and died for. Do you think my delay is because I am weak? No, my beloved. I could end everything in a single breath. I could execute justice and cleanse the world in an instant. But what holds me back is not hesitation, but love. Every soul is of immeasurable value to me. No one is so hopeless that I do not want to save them. Even if they mock, reject, or blaspheme my name, I still wait because the price for each soul has already been paid in the blood of my only Son. Do you remember what I told the prophet Ezekiel? That I take no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but rejoice when they turn back and live. That is still my heart to this day. And so I keep calling. I use every means: a sermon, a sincere glance, an illness, a loss, a lonely moment in the night. All these, not to punish but to stir, not to frighten but to remind them they once belonged to a higher place to me. Do you know, sometimes when I see people chasing success, status, and pleasure, I am not as angry as you think. I am grieved because they are searching for what only I can give. They cling to things that will crumble while I extend my hands with what cannot be shaken. They run from me as if I am their punisher when I am the only one who can heal. I did not come to make people live for me. I came so they might live, truly live, through me. There is one thing many forget. Grace is not cheap. It is not a free pass. It was bought with a life. When my only Son hung on the cross, it was not merely a symbol. It was the meeting point of perfect justice and mercy, that blood did not flow only for the good, but for those who crucified him. And to this day there are those who mock him, reject him, dishonor his name. Yet I still wait for their return. I still wait with tears. My child, every moment that grace still exists is a miracle. For someone to wake up this morning and not be consumed in my wrath, that is grace. For someone to have sinned and not be judged immediately, that is a second chance. But one day the door will close, not because I suddenly change my mind, but because time has reached its end. And then everything will be laid bare, every heart examined, not by public opinion, not by human law, but by my gaze that cannot be deceived. My child, while there is still time, awaken. Do not play games with my kindness. Do not use my delay as an excuse to live with a divided heart. Every day is a day closer to the final moment, and you do not know when that will be. It could be next year, next month, or after your very next breath. Live as if you will meet me at sunset today. Love as if this were the last time you could love with a tender heart. Forgive as if there were no tomorrow. Choose me, not with fleeting emotion, but with total surrender. If you are distracted, return. I do not condemn you for straying, but I cannot pretend not to see what is killing your soul. If you are bitter, open your heart, not because the other person deserves forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Do not let the wounds of yesterday imprison you in today. I did not create you to live as a captive of unresolved emotions. I created you to soar in light, in truth, in love. You may think you have no chance left, that it is too late to turn back. But my child, if you are still reading these words, it is not too late. As long as there is breath, there is time, there is opportunity. Do not delay any longer. Let me take your hand, not only to forgive, but to walk with you. I will lead you through barren lands. I will bind up what has been torn. I will restore what seemed dead within you. But you must let me. You must say, I need you. And if you say that today, even in a whisper, I will answer with all of heaven. No prayer is too late, no person too far gone. My love has no limit, but time does. And that is what I long for you, never to forget. I have waited so long. Do not make me wait another day. Do you know this, my beloved? Every passing second, every breath you take in my grace, it is proof of my boundless patience for humanity. Not because I have forgotten judgment, but because I am giving you another chance to return. Another chance to turn around, another day to open your heart, another morning to reflect, for I see what you do not see. I know the end of a soul that departs from me. And no, I do not want to see you fall into that abyss. You often ask why I have not come yet, why the world is full of evil and I seem silent, but in truth that silence is not indifference, it is a painful waiting. I delay not because I cannot judge, but because I want to save one more soul, one more child coming home. I have paid a price beyond measure, the blood of my beloved Son, to open a way of life for mankind. And I will not close that way easily until no one is willing to walk upon it. My child, what breaks my heart is not the loud cries of the defiant, but the silence of those who once walked with me, but now are left with only an empty conviction. Souls that once trembled in my presence now have grown accustomed to life without me. They do not reject me with their words, but with a numb way of living, with a faith that no longer breathes. They think they are alive, but in truth, they have died inside. And the greatest sorrow is when I call them back, but they can no longer hear me. This world is not merely lost, it has chosen to turn against the light. People are not merely indifferent toward me, they mock me. They distort my image to suit their own desires, then soothe their conscience with a faith of their own making. They call darkness light. They attach my name to things I would never agree to. They invoke my name to harm others, to legitimize what is wrong, to preserve their comfort without changing. But I am the one who does not change. I do not bend to the majority. I do not bargain with sin to spare people discomfort. I am the Holy One, and that will never change. You must understand that righteousness is not optional. Repentance is not a flexible choice in religion. It is the demand of heaven, the only doorway into eternal life. Nothing of mine begins without surrender. No one can step into the gates of my kingdom while clinging to an intact self. The cross is not a wooden frame to admire. It is the place where the old self must die so that new life may begin. And if you refuse this, then regardless of your religion, your songs, or your laws, you will not enter my kingdom. My child, the days ahead will not be days of peace. The whirlwind of deception is coming. A generation is being shaped by entertainment, by convenience, by feelings, and by lies wrapped in sweetness. The enemy no longer hides, it works openly and no one notices. Truth is called hatred. Righteousness is labeled as oppressive. Holiness is mocked. Those who belong to me are seen as outdated, strict, and out of touch. But my child, do not let the applause of the world silence the voice within you. You are called to be different. You are anointed to walk against the current. The price of faithfulness will be great, but the reward will be eternal. The trumpet will sound. The day will come when I will no longer call gently, but judge in power. My son will not return as an infant in a manger. He will return as the King with power that will make heaven and earth tremble. Before him every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. And in that moment there will be no more choices to make, it will all be decided. Every soul will stand before the judgment throne, no one will hide. What you have done in the dark will be brought into the light. What you thought no one knew, I know, and I will judge without error. You still have time, but not much. The door is still open, but it is closing. Warn them, my child, not with sharp words, but with truth soft as tears. Weep for the souls dying in the church, withering beneath religious makeup, suffocating under bitterness and busyness. Lift up your voice, not to condemn, but to awaken. Do not wait until people cry in regret. Help them cry in repentance. Do not stay silent out of fear of offending. I did not call you to be liked, but to sound the trumpet of warning to a generation sinking into slumber. My child, keep your heart pure. Guard your eyes from what is alluring but empty. Keep your hands clean so you need not be ashamed to lift them before me. Live as one preparing to meet your King, not in fear but in holy reverence. Live as though today is the last day, for one day it will be true. Do not grow weary in doing what is right. Do not lose heart when others turn away. Do not compare yourself to the crowd. Walk in my light, even if you must walk alone. For in the end I alone am your true reward. Not success, not recognition, not applause, but me, the one who shed my blood for you and waits for you at the end of the road. Listen closely. My child, I am whispering this not to your ears, but to your soul. For what I am about to say is not merely a warning, but an urgent cry from the heart of a father, the one who has loved you to the end, who has waited for you through every silent season, through every moment you rush through life without turning back. I do not come to frighten you. I come to awaken you before that day comes, the day when nothing can be reversed. There is a day coming as certain as the sunrise. But that day will be unlike any you have ever known. For those who have loved me, who have walked with me in silence, in suffering, in faithfulness, it will be a day of joy beyond measure. They will see me face to face, with no distance between. They will hear me call their name, not through a messenger, not through a symbol, but directly from my heart to theirs. Their eyes will be lit with eternal glory, and every wound, every tear, every silent struggle will be wiped away in an eternal moment. But for some, that very day will be more painful than death itself. Not because I desire it, never, but because they will face the very presence they rejected all their lives, my living holy presence. They will see the light they once mocked. They will hear the call they once ignored. They will feel the truth not as a concept, but as fire burning away every disguise and excuse. And then, my child, there will be no second chance. This is not cruel punishment, it is respect. For I did not make you as a puppet. I made you in my own image, with free will, with the power to choose, with the ability to love truly, and true love never forces itself. I have spent your whole life drawing near to you in every quiet sunset, in every silent tear, in every emptiness between your successes. I was there. I have left my fingerprints on all creation. Every star, every breath, every heartbeat, they are all my call. Do you hear it? I have given you the truth. Not through a thunderclap, but through the whisper of the Holy Spirit, soft as a breeze, yet strong enough to stir the heart. He convicts not to shame you, but to bring you home. He never condemns, he only shines light. And I know there were moments you felt it like a shaft of light breaking into the night of your soul. But then, because of busyness or hurt or compromise, you let it pass. You assumed you still had time. But my child, time is the most precious gift I give, and the one most often taken for granted. The gate is still open, but not forever. It is narrow, yes, because it is not carved to fit the world's pattern. It is not paved with ease or popularity. It does not lead to comfort, but to life. And what makes it precious is that it is still open today. You can enter. You need not bring achievements. You need not be perfect, only a true repentance and a decisive choice that you want to belong to me. I do not need you to appear strong. I am not waiting for you to fix your life before coming. I wait for you like the father running to embrace the prodigal, kissing him though the stench of pigs still clings to his clothes. That is my heart, that is my nature. But I cannot keep the gate open if you keep turning away. I cannot keep saying I love you while not guarding my own holiness. For if heaven has no holiness, then it is no longer heaven. And if I do not judge evil, then I am no longer the righteous God. Therefore, my child, do not delay. Do not think my patience will last forever. Do not let your heart grow hard through repeated neglect of my gentle nudges. Each time you refuse the Spirit's voice, you lay another brick in the wall that separates you from me. And one day that wall will be so high that you can no longer hear me. Not because I stop speaking, but because you no longer can hear, and that is the true tragedy. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to choose to believe. Not blind faith, but humble trust, like a child placing their hand in the Father's, even without knowing where He will lead. I do not promise your life will be easy, but I promise you will never be alone, not for a single moment. I will walk with you through fire, through water, through darkness. And even if the whole world abandons you, I never will. But you must step in. No one can do it for you. Remember, hell was not made for mankind. It was made for the rebels, the fallen angels, the souls who willfully oppose the light. But if you choose to live this life without me, I will not force you to live the next with me. Heaven is for those who want me not just to escape hell, but to truly desire my presence, to want to be near me, to live in my truth, to let me be king. You see, this is not a threat, it is an invitation. Love does not shout to be noticed. It whispers and it waits. But there comes a time when the waiting will end, the gate will close, and when it does, it will not be because I desire to punish, but because I have honored the choice of each person. I have done. My part, came to earth, lived as a man, bore the sins, died in your place, and rose again to give hope. Do you know this? A single soul, just one, is so precious that I was willing to die for it. And if I have done that, do you think I can lightly overlook the souls drifting away each day? No, I am not indifferent, but neither can I set aside justice. If I turned a blind eye to sin, then the blood of my Son would have been shed in vain, and that will never happen. Therefore today, while you still can, choose life, choose light. Choose truth even if it forces you to face your deepest wounds. For only in the light can wounds be healed, and only in truth can the soul be set free. My child, if you understood the fragility of life, you would no longer live carelessly. If you could see the true nature of eternity, you would not dare toy with time. My patience is not without limit, but it is a purposeful pause, a time I have designed so that humanity might return not in fear but in freedom. I delay my return not out of hesitation but out of love. Yet that very love is being scorned day after day, hour after hour. The delay I give is the opportunity for mankind to return to me, but my child, opportunity is also a test. Each time a person hears my call and turns away, they are not merely rejecting an invitation. They are hardening their heart. And a hardened heart is what causes people to drift so far from me that they no longer feel the need for me. That is the most fearful deception. For when a soul no longer desires to be saved, no matter how far I stretch out my arms, they will not realize they are drowning. This is why today, yes, today, is the time of salvation. Not tomorrow, not someday, for tomorrow is not in the hands of any of you. Every morning you still see the sunlight, that is the cry of my mercy. Every breath in and out of your chest is the sign of a grace still at work. But each breath is also a reminder, it could be your last. People live as though they have the right to control time, but no one can extend their life even by a single hour. And when that time ends, what I have decreed will come: judgment. No more exchanges, no more excuses. Only truth remains. Eternity is not an idea for the weak. It is not a threat for those afraid of death. It is an unchangeable reality. Once a person steps into it, there is no way back. Heaven is not the reward for the fairly good. and hell is not only for the worst of the worst. Number eternity is the outcome of a choice, to either cling to me or live apart from me forever. And each day they reject me, they are taking a deliberate step closer to the border of separation. My child, I want you to feel the urgency of time, not so you will live in fear, but so you will live with awareness. Aware that you are living in a generation rushing swiftly toward darkness. Aware that you were not sent into this world to drift with the current, but to be light. You cannot wait for everything to be calm before living for me, for the storm is approaching. The door of grace is still open, but its hinges are beginning to groan as time draws to a close. Do not let yourself be lulled into the slumber the enemy has spread across the earth, distraction, busyness, false security. For these things are dimming the awareness of eternity, the reality that awaits every soul without exception. If you know someone who has not yet received salvation, do not wait. Speak, pray. Love them with the truth, not with pleasant words, but with holy honesty, knowing that you may be rejected, mocked, yet I will stand with you. Be strong in love. For every person you meet, every soul, stands between two eternities. No one stands still. They are either moving toward the light or slipping into the darkness. And you, my child, are the voice I have placed among them. You are not saved to simply enjoy life. You are saved to bear witness to life. To let every beat of your heart declare to the world that time is not an infinite possession, that grace is not a free pass to live carelessly, that my love is not something to store in a glass case to be brought out when convenient and then forgotten. That love is what quenched the wrath, and it demands a complete response. Today, not tomorrow, is the moment I have found you. It is the moment you must ask yourself, where is your heart? Is it still soft? Can it still hear my voice? Or has it been covered with dust by too many refusals, too many times ignoring? I do not ask you about achievements, good deeds, or victories. I ask, do you love me? Do you love me enough to give up what pulls you away from me? Do you love me enough to trade your comfort for the real land, the place where I am all in all, for the day you stand before me will come. And on that day, all you have hidden will be exposed. All you call unfinished will be too late, and you will have only yourself, no excuses, no crowd around you. Only me, the one who loved you before you were formed, and the one who will measure your heart by that very love. What will you choose when faced with eternity? My child, etch this into your heart as a sacred seal. There is no purgatory, no cycle of reincarnation, no second chance after death. This life is the only time to decide, just once, and eternity is determined not by fleeting feelings but by the real relationship between your soul and me. There is no appeal, no if only, no extra chance to fix what is beyond the final boundary. And because of that I call, I plead, I wait patiently. But my child, I will not wait forever. Every day that you can still open your eyes, hear the birds sing, and feel the sunlight on your skin, it is proof that my kindness still stretches over your life. I owe humanity nothing, yet I have given them everything. I do not have to be patient, but I have chosen patience, because of love. I still delay judgment, even though the cry of the righteous grows louder, even though the blood of the innocent falls like heavy raindrops on parched fields, even though darkness advances and evil lifts its head high. Listen closely. My beloved child, every deed will be remembered. Not one drop of blood shed in my name will be forgotten. Not one prayer whispered in the night will fail to reach my ears. Not one injustice, whether hidden or public, will escape the day of reckoning. I see, I remember, and I will act, not in haste but in perfection. My justice is not rushed, but it is flawless. It will come at the appointed time. And when it comes, no one will stand unless they are hidden in my grace. The world has mocked, my name twisted. My words rejected the truth I proclaim. Day after day I see rebellion celebrated as freedom. Lies are honored as wisdom. The wicked are hailed as brave, while the righteous are deemed out of touch and outdated. The cities echo with false laughter, but beneath it lie souls strangled by emptiness. The world is destroying itself, Yet I am still rescuing one by one, soul by soul, through the quiet voice I whisper into their hearts. But the cup of iniquity is filling, and one day I will hold back my hand no longer. When that day comes, my day, it will not come like a gentle breeze. It will come like thunder in a clear sky. No enemy of the light will remain standing. Every chain of deception will be broken. Every throne of human pride will collapse. Every system, every empire, every glory built on the foundation of rebellion will be swept away like dust in the storm of my wrath. But for those who belong to me, who have held fast to their faith in the dark day, I will wipe away their tears with my own hand. My child, keep your heart pure. Choose the narrow way. Live each moment as if today were the last. For one day I will set all things right. I will restore what darkness has stolen. I will return honor to those shamed for my name. I will heal the groaning land. I will create a new heaven and a new earth, where righteousness dwells, where there is no more death, no more pain, no more mourning. I will make all things new. And in that kingdom only those who belong to me will enter. Do not let your heart harden because of my delay. Do not think that because judgment has not fallen today, I have forgotten. No, I have not forgotten. I am patient. But that patience is because of mercy, not because I do not see. The day of vengeance will come. The day of justice will be fulfilled. And then the choice of each soul will be their own final verdict. No one will perish because I did not love them, but many will be lost because they rejected that love. So call out, warn, weep for this generation. Be the trumpet in the wilderness. Live with your eyes lifted to heaven and your feet firmly on the earth. Let your heart burn again for truth, for now is no longer the time to live vaguely, no longer the time to wait for a more convenient day. The most convenient day is today. The time to return is now. How much longer will you wait when my voice has been sounding day and night in your heart, and when you rise, when you obey, when you live differently? Do not be afraid, for I will be with you. I will give you power to stand firm in the evil day. I will cause your face to shine like the sun at noon, not because you are perfect, but because you belong to me. And until the last day, when all is revealed, when the light of my kingdom drives away the final shadow, you will be given a new name, known only to you and to me, the name of one who has overcome. My child, every word I speak is the voice of a love long rejected, yet never without hope. I have been patient not because I am slow to anger or lacking in authority, but because my heart aches at the thought of each soul choosing the path of destruction. Every day I delay is another day someone might return. I do not search for reasons to condemn, I search for every opportunity to save. But when truth is denied, when light is extinguished, then justice must speak. And justice is not the enemy of love. It is the proof that such love is strong enough not to stand idly by in the face of evil. My child, do not be deceived by the faint image of me. The world has constructed a lenient God who overlooks sin, closes his eyes to rebellion, just to preserve the reputation of mercy. That is not me. I am not indulgence. I am a consuming fire, yet also a safe refuge. I am the judge, yet also the healer. I am the king, yet also the father, and I cannot forsake my own righteousness merely to make you feel more comfortable in your sin. If I were to open the gates of heaven to all without repentance, heaven would cease to be holy. It would become another version of the earth filled with selfishness, envy, pride, and sorrow. And if I were to do that, you can be certain I would no longer be who I am. But I am the one who does not change. What I have called sin is still sin, no matter how many centuries pass. What I have called holiness is still the standard, no matter how many ideologies arise. I am not swayed by human opinion, for I am the rock, not the dust. Look upon the world where sin is painted as freedom, where rebellion is labeled individuality, where holiness is mocked as something outdated. And then ask yourself, how can such a world stand before my holy presence? How can mankind, if still clutching darkness, endure the blazing light of heaven? Heaven is not a reward for the good. It is the dwelling place of the transformed. Those who have allowed me to strip away the old self to clothe them with a new heart, tender, surrendered, and radiant in truth. I have held nothing back, not even my only son. His blood did not merely fall on the earth, it fell upon the history of mankind, drawing the line between life and death. And yet still some look upon the cross and turn away. Not because they do not know, but because they do not wish to change. They do not want to deny themselves. They do not want to surrender control to me. That is the true tragedy, not the judgment itself, but the pride that rejects grace. I do not cast them out of my kingdom. They choose, through countless small decisions each day, a different road. And I ask you, what is it in me that makes them afraid? What is it in my embrace that causes them to recoil? I only invite, I never force. I only wait, I do not demand. But when waiting turns into contempt, when grace is treated as something owed, then the time comes for me to rise. And know this, the day I rise is the day every warning becomes reality. On that day, tears will not buy back the years of stubbornness. Regret will echo, but it will never replace surrender. And I, though deeply grieved, will judge because I am righteous. But until that moment, I am still calling. I am still using every means: an afternoon rain, a passage from my word, a song, an event, a word of counsel from someone you least expect. I prolong the time not because I forget, but because I love. I see in every soul a chance yet remains. I see in you, even if only a single ember, the potential to blaze again. And so I delay. I wait. I knock. But you must open. You must respond. I will not break down the door to enter a place where I have not been invited. My child, if today you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Do not wait for another sign. The greatest sign has already taken place: an empty tomb, a risen Lord. What I require of you is not a promise but surrender, a truly broken heart, a soul willing to bow low to let me reign, not in part but in all. And then you will see, when you lose yourself, you will truly find life. Do not ask why I will not let everyone into heaven. Ask why so many refuse heaven when it stands open before them. Ask why, with so great a gift freely given, so many still choose their chains. Ask why, when I have done everything to draw near, they still turn away. It is not because I do not love. It is not because I do not invite. It is because they will not. And love, true love, cannot be forced. It can only invite. And I am still inviting, still hoping, still loving. But my child, love is not indulgence. Love is not compromise. True love knows when to draw a line, and that line is approaching closer than you think. Do not let that day come while you are still hesitating. Do not let it overtake you while your heart wavers between light and darkness. Choose, return. Let me bring you home to the place I have prepared for you from eternity past. My child, if you can still hear my voice, do not ignore it. Do not delay another moment. This is no longer the time to live half-heartedly, to keep one foot in the light and one in the dark. The door of grace is still open, but time is moving steadily toward its end. You were born for this moment, not by chance, not by accident, but to be a light in a wandering generation. Live as if each day were your answer to my love. Live as if every moment were an opportunity to glorify my name. I do not need a noisy crowd. I need only one willing soul. One who knows how to listen, one who dares to step forward without seeing the full path, one who loves me more than life itself. My child, be that one. Keep your heart awake. Do not let the oil in your lamp run dry because you are chasing things that have no value in eternity. Do not let the fire of your first love grow cold from familiarity with the ordinary. Let your soul burn not from fleeting emotions, but from a living communion with me day by day, hour by hour. If you truly belong to me, the world will see it not through slogans, but through the way you live, through holiness, through compassion, through forgiveness that can only come from me. Let your life become a voice not loud, not flawless, but real. A life that does not run from the darkness, but stands firm in it, pointing to the light. A life that others look at and realize there is something different, something not of this world, something from heaven. You will not be able to save everyone, that is not your burden, but you can point the way. You can awaken in them a hunger for what you live. You can live a life that makes others wonder about the reason for your hope. Be the reflection of me in your work, in your love, in your forgiveness, in your waiting, even in your failures when you still return. No one needs you perfect. I do not either. I only need you true. I only need you to choose me with all your heart. Let those who have ears hear. Let those with hearts believe. Let those who still breathe turn back. Eternal life is calling each one not with thunder but with a whisper. And you, my beloved child, you are that whisper written in flesh and blood. Walk forward without delay, without doubt. The world does not need another person who merely knows the right words. The world needs a soul who truly lives them. And you have been chosen not to be like them but to lead them back to me. My child, listen well, for what I am about to say is not for your mind alone, but to be engraved upon your soul. Every word I speak carries the weight of eternity. Not empty repetition, not the passing wind in your ears, but the breath of the one who made you by the power of his word. What I speak does not come from fleeting emotion, nor from weariness or anger. It is the distillation of mercy, justice, and eternal love, all poured into my voice, here and now, for you. You have asked as many before you have asked if you are love, why not open the gates of heaven to all? And then you ask, if you are just why, delay judgment on the wicked. These questions do not offend me, for I am the Father, and a father is patient with the immaturity of his child. But I want you to understand this: I do not think as you do. I do not act as the world acts. Your eyes are bound by time, your heart shaped by circumstance. But I see from the beginning to the end, and from above I see into the depths of every heart. That is why you must listen carefully and not judge my ways by your limited understanding. Heaven is not a prize for those who live well. It is not a destination everyone will automatically reach. Heaven is the fullness of my presence, holiness, brilliance, righteousness, without blemish. And I ask you, how can a hardened soul filled with darkness endure that blazing glory? You think entering heaven is but a single step, but in truth it is the journey of an entire life surrendered. Heaven is not for those who merely wish to avoid hell. It is for those who desire me more than life itself. And as for my delay, it is not the laziness of a weary God, but the patience of a father waiting for his wandering child to return. I delay not because I forget evil, but because I know that within each person there still may be a spark of hope if only they would open their heart. Every day I withhold judgment is another day for a soul to live. If I was patient in the days of Noah, waiting until the ark was complete, if I was slow to anger with Israel in the wilderness, then even now, in a generation of chaos, I am all the more steadfast. Not because I am weak, but because my mercy is so deep you cannot yet comprehend it. But remember, my child, such patience does not last forever. It is a stream of grace, but not a boundless, shoreless ocean. It has an end out of love to preserve what is holy. For if I were endlessly patient, righteousness would be dishonored, and the soul of the just would grow weary in the shadows. I delay waiting for those who wish to turn back. But the day will come, and that day is drawing near, when I will rise. And when I rise, no one will stay my hand. No one will delay my judgment. In that hour the door of grace will close as in the days of Noah, and every soul will stand before my throne faced with the very choice they have made. Therefore I do not reject anyone. I do not create anyone for destruction. They are the ones who choose to walk away from me, little by little, decision by decision, through a stubborn heart hardened over the years. I have set the truth before their eyes. I have knocked on the door of their hearts countless times. I have sent messengers to speak to them. I have used circumstances to awaken them. I have done everything, but love cannot coerce. Surrender cannot be forced. A heart that does not want me, heaven itself, would be a chain to them, not heaven at all. That is why I still call. That is why each day my spirit still moves in the world, convicting, awakening, drawing people back to me. That is why I send you and others like you to speak, to live, to love, to warn. For my light cannot be hidden, and my truth will not be distorted by darkness. But time is limited. One day that time will end. and what remains will be irreversible. My child, be alert. Do not merely listen without responding. Do not simply be moved without changing. Do not let feelings pass like the wind without bearing fruit. I am speaking not with the voice of this world, but with eternity. Let your heart tremble before my presence. Let your heart grow tender in the truth, for the truth is a medicine that heals, even if it tastes bitter at first. Step out of your comfort zone, out of compromise, out of distraction, out of bitterness and coldness. Let me take all of you completely. Hold nothing back, for what you refuse to surrender will be the very thing that holds you back. If you knew my heart, you would not fear. My judgment you would fear living without me. You would understand that true pain is not in falling before me, but in turning away from me. You would know that I do not delight in punishment. I delight in restoration. I am not eager to condemn, I am eager to redeem. But when you reject every opportunity, every invitation, every ray of light, you are the one who paints the outcome of your own soul. And I with tears can only honor that decision. So today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Do not ask why I do not open heaven to everyone. Ask instead why so many choose the road to destruction while the door of life remains open. Do not ask why I have not yet judged. Ask why I still love so deeply that I keep calling each one by name, each rebel, each sufferer, each weary soul. I call because I am love, and love still waits. But it is also love that will close the door when all opportunities have passed. My child, let me unveil to you a truth that this world often avoids or waters down. Heaven is not a prize you can earn through merit or personal morality. It is not a destination for those deemed good by human standards. Heaven is the place where I am fully present, and therefore it cannot be the home of souls who do not long for me. Many think of heaven as an automatic reward, a natural continuation after death, a better world where there is no sickness, no tears, no sorrow. But they forget one thing: heaven does not exist apart from me. My glory is its very atmosphere. My holiness is the foundation of every breath, every movement in the eternal realm. If a soul does not love me in this life, if a heart does not tremble at my presence, if it has not walked with me through the darkness, how can it rejoice in me in everlasting light? I do not bar anyone from entering heaven. But you must understand this: no one can endure holiness without being transformed. If I were to allow those who have not surrendered to me, who do not desire me, who refuse to live in righteousness into that place, it would not be mercy but a betrayal of the very nature of my dwelling. I am the Holy One. And holiness will not accept what is false, deceitful, or compromised. Heaven is not a refuge for those afraid of hell, but a home for those who love me above all. Not everyone truly wants me, many only want to be saved from punishment. But salvation is not escape from hell, it is union with me. If your soul does not seek me when you are free to choose, I will not force you to remain in my presence for eternity. Love requires response. Heaven is not built on coercion, but on covenant between me and those who love my name. Do you know that there are some who serve in the church all their lives yet have never loved me? Some teach about me, sing for me, work in my name, but their hearts remain far from me. They seek heaven as a reward, forgetting that I myself am the reward. Such souls, if placed in heaven, would feel like strangers, for they never truly belonged there. Not because I drove them away, but because they never truly wanted me. Heaven is not for those who merely say Lord with their lips. It is for those who allow me to reign truly within their hearts. Those who let me sanctify them through loss, through seasons of dryness, through my silences. Those who have learned to love me not because of blessings, but because I am worthy of love. They have lived this life as citizens of that realm. They have not chased the applause of the world, but have held fast to faith as to their very breath. They have loved holiness even when it brought misunderstanding, opposition, and loneliness. These are the souls heaven will welcome, not because they were perfect, but because they allowed me to transform them day by day. They do not stand before my throne with hands full of good deeds, but with broken hearts that once cried, Lord, have mercy on me, and I have heard. I have remembered every tear every time they chose to stand, when it would have been easier to give up. To them I will say, "Well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of your Lord." But to those who have never truly known me, even if they once knew about me, I cannot open the door. Not because I am cruel, but because they carry nothing of heaven within them. No love for me, no repentance, no living faith, and a soul cannot survive in my presence without transformation. To them it would be torment, not reward. Therefore, my child, do not simply long for a place, seek a person. I am not calling you to become a citizen of an eternal kingdom. I am calling you to be my child, and I am heaven. Where I am, there is life, peace, and perfect satisfaction. If your heart does not desire me each day, then you must ask yourself, do you truly want heaven, or are you merely trying to avoid hell? There is still time, my child, still a chance to return. Let me be the treasure of your heart, the light in your thoughts, the holiness in your actions, the voice calling amid all distractions. Begin to live this life as though you are already a citizen of heaven by letting me reign today. And when that day comes, you will not be surprised. You will not be afraid. You will not be confused. You will smile, for you will know my voice, my fragrance, the rhythm of my heart. My child, there are things that cannot be understood by reason but only absorbed by the heart, and my holiness is one of them. It is not a quality for me to boast of, nor a lofty title I hold as a badge. No, my dear one. Holiness is the deepest essence of who I am. Everything I do flows from it. Every word I speak, every act I perform even, my patient delay is touched by that pure flame. And it is precisely because I am holy that all impurity cannot survive in my presence. Not because I wish to destroy, but because the very nature of darkness cannot endure the brilliance of light. Imagine the sun, my child, a great star that gives life to the whole planet. But if you come too close, that same light will consume you. Not because the sun hates you, but because its sheer purity cannot host what is unlike itself. So it is with me. I am absolute light, and thus I cannot let darkness dwell forever in my presence. This does not bring me joy. On the contrary, it tears my heart, for I know there are children I have made, souls I love, who will choose to remain in darkness even after I have called them into the light again and again. Hell is not a cage I built to unleash my anger. It is not a trap I set for those who failed to follow the rules in time. No, my dear one, it is not so. Hell is the final place for souls who have repeatedly heard my call, but have deliberately turned away. It is the natural result of rejecting me, the only source of life, and choosing to exist eternally without me. I do not cast them there. They themselves in freedom have day by day, hour by hour, chosen a path that does not lead to me. And at some point, that choice becomes eternal. Do you know what grieves me most? Not human sin, not weakness, but the refusal of my love. When a soul knows the truth, feels me, touches my mercy, yet still refuses, still turns away, still clings to self instead of surrender, still says no to the eternal wedding feast I have prepared with all my patience and sacrifice. Heaven is the wedding banquet, the Father's house, the place I have made not only by my power, but by a heart broken with love. And you must understand this clearly. Heaven is not the default place where everyone goes after death. It is not a reward for those who live well. No, my child, it is for those who have chosen me, those who have allowed me to change them, to cleanse them, and to unite with them. It is not for those who love me with their lips while living as though I do not exist. Heaven is not for those who try to hold both me and the world in their hands. It is for those who upon seeing me will not be strangers, but will cry out, "I know you, I have loved you, and now I am home." Heaven is not a prison that forces my enemies to live in a peace they despise. It is a place of freedom, but freedom bound in love, like a bride bound for life to her groom, like breath inseparable from life itself. It is a covenant, not a license, but a promise, not a formality, but a living love. And that love only has meaning when it is chosen. I will not drag anyone into my kingdom with chains. I only open the door. Whoever steps in must step in with a surrendered heart, with feet ready to abandon all that is old to dwell forever in the new. My child, that is why I am patient, because I know not everyone is ready from the beginning. I know people need time to be broken to awaken, to let go, but this patience is not forever. One day the final trumpet will sound, and on that day those who have prepared will enter into glory. But those who have hardened their hearts will face the result they have chosen all their lives. So today, my child, while there is still time, while your heart still beats, while the door is still open, respond. Not just with promises, not just with tears, but with a life made new. Let me cleanse you. Let my holy fire burn away the old within you. Your pride, your clinging to the world, the wounds you keep holding on to. Let me clothe you in a spotless wedding garment, not by your own merit, but because I, myself, have prepared it for you. For I long to see you in my kingdom, not as a stranger, but as one welcomed home. My beloved child, welcome home. My child. My righteousness is not swayed by outward shine or eloquent words. I am not persuaded by what people use to reassure one another, for I do not see as man sees. I do not measure by deeds that appear good, nor am I lulled by the sound of prayers spoken in public gatherings. I see deeper through every layer of facade, every shell of religion, every mask of spiritual cosmetics. I see precisely what no one dares to look at: the motives of your heart. Many call me Lord, Lord, but that cry does not come from the deepest place of their soul. They use my name as a covering for other purposes. Some use faith as a tool to build an image. Some serve as a way to control, to be recognized, to have a voice. But I do not need busy hands if the heart is far from me. I do not need great works if the motive behind them is fame, power, or glory for the self. I need a heart that is broken and true, a soul that needs no spotlight, no applause, only me. Heaven is not a refuge from hell. Heaven is where I dwell, and not everyone truly wants that. Many dream of eternal life as a cure for fear, not because they love my presence. They want to escape suffering, but they do not want to be broken. They desire peace, but will not accept surrender. They long for healing, but will not let me touch the root of their wounds. They want life without going through death, but I have already said whoever wants to live must die. Whoever wants to be filled must first be emptied. There is no neutrality. There is no gray area in my kingdom. You either choose me fully or you choose your own way. I will not force you, but neither will I share my throne with any idol, whether that idol is in your heart an unyielded wound or a dream you still cling to. Heaven is not for half-hearted hearts. It is not a resting place for souls who only want to escape hell but do not want to see me. If someone cannot endure my presence on earth, how will they live in my eternal presence in heaven? Bringing an impure heart into the place where I dwell is not mercy, it is betrayal of truth itself. For heaven is not merely a reward, it is a realm built from a glory and holiness so pure that nothing unclean can exist there. If you still love darkness, if you still will not abandon sin, you will feel suffocated in the light. For my light does not only shine, it reveals. It does not only warm, it burns away all that does not belong to me. Do not think that because I love, I will overlook sin. Do not think I will forgive what you deliberately keep without repentance. My love is not compromise. It is because I love that I will purify. It is because I value heaven and every soul that I will not let it be defiled by hypocrisy, by desires uncrucified by minds unwilling to submit to me. If I let everyone enter heaven regardless of their heart, then I would no longer be holy. And if I am no longer holy, there is nothing left for you to hope for. Do you think I do not see? I see it all. I see the contempt behind sweet prayers. I see the envy behind a smile. I see the secrets hidden beneath diligent service. I see the promises you never intended to keep. I see not only what you do, but why you do it. And that is what I judge, for I am the righteous one. I cannot be deceived. I cannot be bribed by appearances. I cannot be swayed by the crowd. I judge according to truth, and truth does not compromise. There are those who do good all their lives but have never known me. There are those who speak virtuous words but have never allowed me to transform them. There are those who pray every night but have never surrendered. These things in human eyes are signs of faith. But in my eyes there is only one clear sign, a life transformed by my love wholly surrendered at my feet, living truthfully in a world of lies. And my child, I do not say this to make you afraid. I say it to awaken you. I am not seeking perfection. I am seeking sincerity, a true heart, a surrender without calculation. I do not require you to complete everything before you come near, but when you come, you must come real. No hiding, no pretending, no holding back. I am calling for a people who repent, not only because of consequences, but because they have wounded my heart. I am calling for those who dare to live authentically, who dare to let me strip away the mask, who dare to let me touch the deepest places. I am not afraid of the darkness in your heart. I am only grieved when you will not let me in. Therefore, if today you hear my voice, do not turn away, do not delay, do not pretend any longer. Do not say, Lord, Lord, with your lips, while your heart still belongs to the world. I do not need words, I need the heart. And I, as from the beginning, am still seeking one thing, those who worship me in spirit and in truth. Beloved child, I know you long for a word that stretches on without being broken by dashes or partitions, a current of prose that flows like a river without ceasing. So today I will speak to you in full continuity, letting each thought braid into the next like wind, embracing the waves like light, spreading across the earth so that your heart may be upheld. My child, how many times have you felt adrift on the vast sea of life, surrounded by 1,000 clashing noises until you could no longer tell what is true and what is false? Yet be still and listen, for even when the world is veiled by layers of doubting dust, I remain the primal truth that never fades. You may be rejected by others, misunderstood, even lose faith in yourself, but in my eyes you have never, not for a single second, been of lesser worth. Every step you take, however small, carries within it an effort that only I fully understand. Do you think I notice you only when you succeed? No. I keep watch when you are weak, when you tremble, when you weep in secret, and it is precisely then that my love for you grows deeper, because I know that in this tenderness you are learning to lean to and trust, to let me take your hand and personally guide you. You have endured many seasons of storm and borne many wounds within. Some are closed, some still bleed, yet these scars are not the marks of failure, but the proof that you walked through and yet live. Each scar tells a story, and I cherish every one. Do not hide your pain, for it has gentled your gaze and formed the compassion you carry for those who suffer. I know you fear loneliness, fear the long days when no one seems to listen, fear your own voice sinking into silence. Yet in that very silence I am nearest to you. In the night when all else sleeps, I sit beside you, keeping watch over your dreams and sheltering your soul from invisible terrors. I never leave you, nor do I tire of walking with you. If you pause and listen with your whole heart, you will recognize my voice, tender as a cool breeze, like a sweet song that continues to sound within. You often worry about the future and ask whether you are strong enough to make the whole journey. Remember, I have never asked you to know everything in advance. I ask only that you take small steps, each one in quiet peace, and in every step believe that I have gone before to clear the way. Though the road may be rough, you will never walk it alone. You may not see the whole path, but the light I give is always enough for a single step, and step by step, it will lead you into a place of rest. Little one, lay down the burdens that are not yours. You do not have to strain to carry the world, nor prove your worth with exhausted hands. Do only this: open your heart to receive my love, and let that love be the power that heals and upholds you. Do not fear weakness, for where you feel helpless, my strength is revealed most clearly. Every tear you shed I catch and turn into a pearl. Every sigh I hear as a silent prayer. Every unfulfilled dream I keep within my heart, and in its due season I will grant you sweet fruit. You need only be patient and trust, for I never forget even the smallest longing of yours. And remember, my child, the world may change and human hearts may grow cold, but my love does not vanish. It is eternal, like the sun that rises without fail, like the ocean that never ceases its flow. You may doubt yourself, but never doubt my love, for I loved you before you knew how to love yourself, and I will love you always, beyond all time, beyond every mistake, beyond every distance. Beloved child, I am not only the one who created you, but the one who walks beside you every hour, every moment. There is not a single instant when I am apart, not a single night when I am absent. Even when you think yourself abandoned, even when you cannot sense my nearness in the silence, I am holding you, not with cords that bind and force you forward, but with the very hands once pierced for you. This is love, freely given love, that makes no demands, love that has never changed. It does not depend on your moods. It does not fade because of your weakness or stumbles. It is more enduring than the mountains, deeper than any abyss, and it will never leave you. Think of the sun, though. Heavy clouds may conceal it. The sun still shines, still exists, still sustains life. So it is with my love. There are times when you do not feel it, times when life seems shrouded in darkness, yet it is not because I am absent, but because your eyes are weary and your heart weighed down. When you open your heart, you will see that my light has never gone out. Even in the deepest night, I am there, the flame that will never be extinguished. You once believed my love was conditional, that you must be good enough, strong enough, faithful enough to deserve it. But my child, if it depended on you, then it would no longer be perfect love. I loved you even before you knew me. I held your hand when you were frail. I chose you even before you chose me. My love does not shift with emotion nor diminish because of fault. It stands against every trial it endures. Despite all limits, it is eternal love. You may fall countless times, and still I will lift you up. You may cry that you are unworthy, and still I will affirm you are mine. You may run far away, and still I will wait for your return. Not in anger, but in gentle patience, like a father opening his arms, like a mother cradling her child come home in tears. Every heartbeat of yours is a testimony that I am near. At times you ask, why must I endure pain? Why do I not remove every trial? My child, without the night, you would never cherish the light. Without the storm, you would never discover how resilient your wings can be. I do not give you suffering to torment you, but to refine you, so that you may learn that true strength does not lie in escaping difficulty, but in overcoming it with steadfast courage. In the very moments of weakness, you find the strength that is not your own but mine. I see what you never speak, the sighs in the night, the hidden questions, the tears unseen, and I want you to believe that nothing is too small for my care. You are the center of my heart. You are not merely another among countless faces. You are unique, irreplaceable. Your name is engraved on the palms of my hands, and no power can erase it. I do not promise that your life will be free of storms, but I promise that in the storm you will have a safe harbor. I do not promise that you will never weep, but I promise that every tear you shed will become a precious jewel, nourishing your soul and brightening your character. I do not promise a smooth path, but I promise that on every step I will walk with you. My child, look back and remember how many times you thought you could not go on, yet you did. How many times you thought every door was closed, yet another opened. How many times you wanted to give up, yet a spark of hope appeared. None of these were accidents, they were my hand sustaining, guiding, whispering to you, go on, for I am here. Let your heart grow lighter. Do not weigh it down with comparisons, with harsh judgments against yourself. You do not need to be perfect to be loved. You need only to be yourself in all truth, with every crack, every frailty. And in that truth, my love is shown more clearly. I do not love an image of you. I love you as you truly are. Believe this, there is no depth too deep for my love to reach, no distance that can make me abandon you, no weakness that can make me cease to care. This love cannot be destroyed, cannot be withdrawn, cannot be denied. It will forever surround you, uphold you, shelter you today, tomorrow, and always. So live on, believe, and keep walking. No matter how long or short the road, no matter how much the years may change, one thing will never change. I am here, and I love you. Beloved child, in this chaos I know your steps often grow weary. I know your heart sometimes feels it cannot bear another weight. I see the sighs when you look around and see only decay when falsehood is exalted and truth is mocked. I understand every time you stumble in silence, every tear that falls unseen in the dark. Yet in my eyes, not one of your sacrifices is ever wasted. Each hidden prayer, each small act of kindness that seems unnoticed is like a seed sown into the fertile soil of heaven. And at the appointed time, those seeds will sprout, grow, and yield sweet fruit that no one can hinder. Do not let today's weariness cause you to doubt tomorrow. Do not let the shadows obscure your hope. For darkness lasts only until the light appears, and no one can extinguish my light. I, the one who began the sacred work in your life, am the very one who will bring it to completion. As surely as the sun rises after the long night, as surely as the seed breaks through after the cold winter, so your life will be restored and lifted up in my grace. You may think your faithful steps are like a single drop in the vast ocean, yet I tell you truly, the ocean itself is made of such drops. Your drop, however small, helps form the great waves of my kingdom. You may not see the results immediately, but trust that my timing is more perfect than all human calculation. Remember, in this world some things appear noble, yet are empty, while other things may seem insignificant but shine with eternal glory in my eyes. When you give a cup of water to the thirsty, when you choose forgiveness over bitterness, when you patiently do good without recognition, then you touch eternity itself. No good deed, however small, escapes my keeping. All are treasured in heaven's storehouse. Do not forget you are on a long journey, and the destination is not human praise but my embrace. So when your heart trembles at injustice, when you feel lost in a world of deceit, remember that I am near. I never abandon you nor remain silent to a sincere cry. You may not understand now, but one day looking back, you will see that every tear, every sacrifice, every loss has become a jewel in the crown of glory upon your head. The harvest is coming. It is not a distant image but a reality drawing closer each day. When you see chaos spreading, take it as a sign that my coming is near. Just as the fierce storm often precedes a clear sky, so this darkness is but the prelude to radiant light. The seeds you have sown with sweat, with hidden sacrifice, are being nurtured by me, and I will bring them to blossom. I know you ask, why remain faithful when all else decays? Why keep integrity when no one values it? My child, understand this. Faithfulness is not only duty, it is the mark that you belong to me. When you guard your heart against the flow of the world, you proclaim yourself as my true child. And believe this, I will never let your faithfulness fall into emptiness. I am the Father who never forgets what you do in love. I do not overlook your compassionate glance toward the weak, nor the times you choose silence to keep peace instead of quarreling, nor the prayers you whisper for others though they never know. All are recorded in the book of life, and at harvest time you will marvel at the abundant fruit springing from what seemed so small. Remember, life on earth is but a small part of the eternal journey. If you see only the present, discouragement will come easily, but if you lift your eyes further, you will glimpse the glorious future awaiting you. Then you will see that today's trials are nothing compared to the radiant glory about to be revealed. This hope is what keeps you standing. This fire is what keeps your heart from growing cold. Therefore, my child, keep walking. Even if you feel you have only a little strength left, give that little to me, and I will increase it. Walk on even if the path ahead is dim, for my light will lead you. Hold fast in faithfulness, for it is worth more than all riches. And when you are weary, rest in me, for I am your true refuge. I do not promise you will escape all storms, but I promise you will never face them alone. I do not promise the world will applaud you, but I promise you an unfading reward. I do not promise that every door will open as you wish, but I promise that the doors I open no one can shut. Look back and you will see that my hand has never left you. When you thought you would sink, I lifted you. When you thought you were alone, I was beside you. When you felt no one understood, I knew you better than you know yourself. So be strong, for no power, no darkness can ever snatch you from my embrace. Be patient, child. Do not be disheartened by the present. A tree takes years to bloom. A seed takes time to bear fruit. Your faithful life is the same. I am watering, tending, preparing for a great harvest. One day when you look back, you will see that every tear, every sacrifice, every prayer has become golden sheaves of grain. And on that day, standing in the endless fields, beholding the fruit far beyond your hope, your heart will overflow with unspeakable joy. You will understand that no moment was wasted, no sorrow discarded, no act of love forgotten. All have woven together the perfect tapestry of my plan, so do not be afraid. Do not let ridicule, deceit, or thickening darkness shake you. Remember, darkness only makes the light shine brighter. In times when the world grows cold, your love for me becomes even more precious. When falsehood spreads, your faithfulness becomes a beacon, and I promise that flame will never go out. Keep walking, my child, for you walk not only for yourself but to open a way for many others to see the light. Live truthfully, love deeply, remain faithful, for each of these reveals my eternal kingdom. And trust this, the harvest is not far, beloved child. You do not need to strive for strength in the way the world teaches. I do not require you to put on the heavy and rigid armor of self-reliance. True strength does not come from what the eye sees or the ear hears, nor from fleeting encouragements of men. True strength comes only from me, the one who called you out from the multitude, who engraved your name upon my hand, who has recorded every breath and every step you take. Let me be your sole strength. When your feet falter, when your heart is burdened to the point of collapse, do not struggle alone, but lean into my arms and I will lift you up. I do not recoil from your weakness, for it is in weakness that my power is made perfect and glorious. When darkness surrounds your soul, when confusion blinds you from discerning truth from falsehood, do not condemn yourself for being lost. You are not meant to bear that weight in solitude. I will be the whisper in your heart, the gentle comfort carried in the breeze, the glimmer of light in the deep night. You may not hear me clearly at once, but believe that I am speaking soothing, guiding you. My voice never falls silent to those who seek me sincerely. When you open your heart and cease resisting, peace will flow in like living water, quenching every dry place within you. Do not let the enemy deceive you. It whispers that I have abandoned you, that you are forgotten, that I have turned away. Yet those are its ancient lies, crafted to make you doubt my eternal love. The truth is this: though the world may shift, though people may betray, though all human foundations collapse, I will not forsake you. My word does not change. I have promised to be with you until the end of the age, and that promise was sealed with the blood of my Son. No accusation can erase this truth. No shadow can block my love for you. Remember, people may desert you. Friends may withdraw, even those closest may not understand you. But I, who formed you, will never turn my back. I am the Father who does not abandon a weeping child, who does not ignore a desperate cry. As long as breath remains in you and beyond into the day of the new heavens and the new earth, I will walk with you, never delayed, never absent. There are moments when you think I am silent, when your prayers seem to vanish into the air unheard. But know this: every word you utter, every whisper of your soul, I gather into golden bowls before my throne. No tear falls without my knowing. No pain touches you without my feeling it alongside you. I am not distant, but near, the Father at your sickbed, the Father walking with you through the desert, the Father standing beside you amid the storm when you think you will drown. And believe a day will come when the trumpet will sound not an earthly note, but the blast of glory shaking heaven and earth, heralding the return of my Son in majesty. On that day the heavens will open, light brighter than 10,000 suns will blaze forth. On that day injustice will end, every tear will be wiped away, every faithful and frail soul will be lifted high. And you, seemingly small among the nations, will behold with your own eyes the one who loved you before the foundation of the world. Until that glorious day, do not fear being alone. I have promised to be with you, to hold your hand, to guide your steps without delay and without neglect. Whether you walk through green pastures or shadowed valleys, I am your shepherd. Whether rejoicing in triumph or bowed in defeat, I remain your refuge. Even when your heart rages like a storm, I am the one who commands peace, be still. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but you can be certain of this: I am already there, and I will remain until the end. The world may take much from you, your trust in men, your illusions of safety, relationships you thought unshakable, but it cannot strip away my presence in your life. It cannot erase your name from my hand. It cannot undo the truth that you belong to me. So let me be your strength. Do not seek sturdiness in your frail and wavering self. Rest on me, your unshakable foundation. When you lean on me, you will find a strength that overcomes every trial. Let my word flow into your soul like clear water so you do not dry out in the desert. Let my breath fill you so you know you are alive with eternal life. Let my light surround you so that no darkness can consume you. I am the strength you need, the hope that never fails, the love without condition, the companion who never departs. And when you look back on the journey, you will see that not a step was taken without me. Not a fall occurred without my hand lifting you. Not a day of confusion passed without my whisper of peace. You will see that in the moments you felt weakest, my strength shone brightest. And when the final day comes, when the trumpet of heaven resounds, you will enter glory not by your own strength, but by mine, the strength of the one who is always beside you, never late, never absent. Beloved child, listen closely, for time is no longer long. The field before you has turned golden, the heavy heads of grain bow in the wind, as though urgently declaring that the harvest is here. This is not the hour for hesitation or delay. This is the appointed season, the decisive moment, the hour heaven has awaited for. Souls are thirsting for a drop of hope, a glance of love, a single ray of light strong enough to pierce the thick night that surrounds their lives. You see it, don't you? The world today is filled with chaos and unrest. People rush through life yet remain empty within, searching for meaning in wealth, in status, in acclaim, but never finding satisfaction. There are many who walk the crowded streets like wanderers in the desert, longing for someone to notice them, longing for a single sincere word. They are not waiting for eloquent speeches or dazzling miracles. What they need is a simple encouragement, a true embrace, a small act of love, something you can give. Do not believe that only great displays of love carry weight. Remember, sometimes a compassionate glance is enough to keep someone from despair. A genuine greeting may rescue a soul from the depths of loneliness. Do not wait until you feel fully prepared, for you will never feel entirely ready. Do not wait until tomorrow. To love, for tomorrow is never guaranteed. It is today, in this very moment, that I call you to shine. Now is the time, this is the day, for the harvest is ready. Do not let fear hold you back. The enemy will whisper that you are too small, that your words are too weak, that your love is insufficient to change anything. But know this, I do not call you to feats beyond your reach. I only ask you to faithfully sow the small seeds of love in your daily life. Step forward with even the simplest act, and I will multiply it. I will take your fragile words and soften the hardest hearts. I will take your trembling hands and use them to lift the weary. I will turn your little light into a beacon for those lost in the dark. Time is short, my child. The day of my return is nearer than you think. The signs are everywhere, love growing cold, wickedness spreading, great upheavals shaking the world. All are warning calls that heaven's trumpet is about to sound. And when that day comes, none can delay it, none can plead for just a little more time. So do not squander this moment. Do not pass by the souls who hunger for the love you can give right now. Think of those around you, perhaps a neighbor, perhaps a coworker, perhaps a stranger you glimpse only once. You cannot know who stands on the brink of despair, who silently cries out for help. You cannot guess how a single smile of yours might rescue a life. I have placed you in this world not to live only for yourself, but to be a witness of hope, a whisper of my love in another's story. Do not ask yourself, am I holy enough, worthy enough? What I seek is not your perfection, but your willingness. I will provide the rest. When you open your heart, when you step forward in obedience, I will put words in your mouth, compassion in your hands, wisdom in your thoughts. You do not walk alone. You are an instrument, and I am the power working through you. That is why you must not delay. Now is the time to sow, to give, to live fully for eternity. I do not wish for anyone to be left behind. Every soul is precious in my eyes. I gave the blood of my Son to redeem them. Therefore do not despise even one. Though despised by the world, though abandoned by society, in my eyes, they are still worthy of love. When you kneel to wash another's feet, when you choose forgiveness over resentment, when you open your heart to a stranger, you are partnering with me in the work of eternal redemption. Picture the day of glory when heaven's trumpet resounds. Those who have slept in hope will rise, and those still walking in faith will be caught up to meet my Son in the clouds. On that day, death will be no more, tears will be wiped away, sorrow will vanish. But on that same day, those who never heard, who never knew, my love will remain outside. My child, I do not desire any of them to be left behind. That is why I call you today, urging you not to delay, not to wait for a more convenient time. There is no time to waste. This is the hour to burn brightly. Understand this: when you live in love, when you open your heart and step forward, you do not only save one soul, you may touch an entire generation. One life transformed by love can ignite a fire that lights many others. In this way, the light spreads, the darkness retreats. You are a vital link in this great design, and I want you to grasp your significance. So rise, my child. Let your heart blaze, let your hands act, let your lips speak words of love. Do not let fear chain you in place. Do not let hesitation steal the moment. Now is the time. This is the day. The harvest is ready, and the harvester is you. You are not alone, for I am with you. And I promise, until the return of my Son in glory, I will walk each step with you, never once departing. Beloved child, therefore I remind you again, be steadfast. Stand upright in the storm, not by your own strength, but because I, the one who holds the universe, am standing beside you. Keep your soul in holiness, yet do not let holiness become a burden or a fear. I have not called you into the bondage of lifeless laws, but into freedom through love. You live apart from impurity, not because you fear my anger, but because love binds you to me, and that love compels you to desire my delight in all things. Holiness is not a cage to confine you, but wings that lift you, freeing you from the mud of the world to live a radiant life reflecting my own light. Be strong, yet never imagine this strength comes from within yourself. I know your flesh is weak, I know you tire easily, I know discouragement comes swiftly. But you are not called to fight alone. I am the source of power, the stream of life pulsing through the veins of your spirit. When you feel drained, when your hands tremble, when your eyes blur with tears, it is then that I step in, pouring new strength so you can rise again. You do not need to strain to prove resilience. You need only allow me to pour my strength into you, and you will discover you can do what once seemed impossible. Be faithful, my child, for faithfulness is the rare jewel I treasure more than outward success. Do not be faithful for quick results, for often the harvest does not appear overnight. Be faithful for one reason alone, because you know I am the rewarder, and my reward is unlike the world's. The world honors visible triumphs, but I reward the heart that endures, the hand that sows quietly, though unseen, the soul that perseveres without applause. In due season you will reap if you do not give up. Remember, no seed sown in tears is ever lost. One day the field will bloom and you will enter the joy of the harvest. When you grow weary in doing good, when your heart whispers, I have no strength left, I beg you, do not give up. Do not let weariness drag you down. Do not let the world's mocking voices discourage you. Do not let darkness persuade you that your efforts are worthless. For I see it all, I remember it all. I store every small deed of love in my eternal treasure. If you do not let go, if you continue to stand firm, you will see fruit spring forth not only in your own life, but in the lives of many others you have touched in silence. Keep your eyes fixed on me. This is above all most vital. The world with its temptations and endless noise will try to pull your focus away. It will dazzle you with glittering illusions to make you forget eternity. It will whisper doubts to shake your faith. It will dangle fleeting pleasures to lure you from what is true. If you gaze upon these, your heart will soon be restless, your faith will wane. But when you fix your eyes on me, the author and finisher of faith, you will find peace restored. You will be reminded that the goal lies not in the present, but in everlasting glory. I am preparing the way for my return. All creation points toward that day. And you too are called to prepare the way for me. But do not imagine that this preparation must be through grand gestures, mighty signs, or imposing works. No, you need not shake the world by your own strength. What I seek is a humble, yielded heart. In that humility, I reveal myself through you. You need no trumpet blast to announce, My coming for your life of holiness and love is the loudest testimony. A heart of love, a life of integrity, a soul of faithfulness. These are the true preparations for my glory. Understand this, the world does not need more voices that shout with empty words, but lives that embody love. A life of holiness, a love without condition, a servant heart, these proclaim louder than any sermon. When you forgive instead of resent, when you choose truth over deceit, when you stretch out your hand to help rather than turn away, then your very life becomes a signpost leading others to me. And do not fear being too small. I do not require you to be a blazing beacon lighting the whole world. I ask only that you be a small candle shining in the corner where I have placed you. For when countless candles burn together, what darkness can prevail? Simply be faithful where you are, and I will spread your light farther than you could ever imagine. Be strong, my child. For I do not look only at the present moment. I see the final destination. I do not focus only on the present trials. I behold the glory that awaits. Live holy, live strong, live faithful, not through striving but through knowing, I am with you. I am your strength, I am your reward, I am your goal. And as long as your eyes rest on me, you will not lose your way, you will not lose your faith, you will not be swept away by the chaos of the world. Stand firm, my child, for the hour of my return is nearer than ever. And while you wait, prepare the way not with noise but with a life full of love, not with grandeur before men but with the quiet deeds that delight me. And when I appear in glory, you will hear these words, Well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of your Lord. Beloved child, engrave this truth deep within your heart. I do not love you only when you do right, nor only when you stand strong, brave, or successful. My love for you is not built upon achievement, nor upon perfection within you. I love you simply because you belong to me. You were mine before you ever knew me, and you will always be mine no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how frail you feel. My love does not shift with your moods, does not rise and fall like the waves, does not alter with your failures or successes. It is eternal love, unchanging, unfading, never lost. You often think I turn away when you are weak. You fear that when you fail, I will be ashamed and leave you. But my child, I am never ashamed of you. I do not look at you through the harsh eyes of the world. I see you through the lens of love, the love sealed with the innocent blood of my Son on the cross. When I look at you, I do not see failure. I see a child redeemed at great cost. When I look at you, I do not see filth. I see a child being transformed by grace. I am never ashamed to call you mine, for my love is greater than every stumble and my promise stronger than every mistake. Understand this well, I do not withdraw my promises. People may break their word, may change, may forget their vows, but I am not like them. When I speak, it becomes truth. When I promise, it stands forever. You may doubt yourself, but never doubt my faithfulness. You may forget, but I will not. You may run, but I will pursue. You may fall, but my hand will always reach out. I began a good work in you, and I will complete it despite every obstacle. No weakness within you is greater than my purpose, nor do I cancel my plans for you. You may think your failures have ruined everything I intended. You may fear your weakness has forced me to find someone better, but I do not work as the world does. I do not build my purposes on the fragile foundation of your perfection. Rather, I choose to work in your weakness so that my grace may be revealed and my power made complete. What you call mistakes do not deter me. I do not crumple up the blueprint because you fell. I am patient. I wait, I reshape, I refine, and through it all I still lead you to the final goal where you will stand firm in glory, perfected in my love. Nothing can separate you from my love. Write this upon your heart, no depth, no abyss can swallow you out of my hand. Even if you fall into the lowest pit of despair, my love will find you and lift you up. No height, not even the dazzling glories of this world can cause me to forget you. If you climb to the summit of fame, I am still there, reminding you that true worth is not found in success, but in eternal love. Neither life with its countless trials, nor death with its terror and separation can sever you from my love. Even death itself I have conquered. How could it ever steal you from my embrace? Sometimes you fear that sin has built a wall between us that I no longer want to come near. But that wall was destroyed long ago by the blood of my Son. When he died, the veil was torn apart so you may enter my presence without fear. Do not let shame bind you anymore. I no longer count your faults to condemn you. I see you in love in my plan of restoration and lifting up, and know this: I will not forsake you. Not now, not ever. Wherever you go, I follow. However far you run, I will search. However tightly you close your heart, I will patiently knock. I will not abandon you in the night, nor leave you in the desert, nor forsake you in success nor in failure. My faithfulness does not rest on you, but on my very nature. I am love, and I cannot deny myself. Therefore, my child, be at peace in this truth. My love never changes. You do not need to strive to earn it. You do not need to be flawless to keep it. You were loved before you knew me, and you will be loved forever. This love does not come and go, does not swell and fade, does not depend on your performance. It is like a river without end, flowing ceaselessly, embracing both the bright and shadowed places of your life. So when you feel weak, do not despair. When you stumble, do not fear. When you feel lost, do not think I have abandoned you. For I am there, always there, arms open, waiting for you to return. And when you do, you will find that my love has never changed, still full, still fierce, still greater than every fault. Beloved child, rest in this truth. I love you not for what you do, but because you are mine. I am not ashamed of you. I do not withdraw my promise. I do not cancel my plan. Nothing can separate you from my love. And I will not leave you. Not now, not ever. Now, my child, pour out your heart before me like water. Hold nothing back. Let this prayer be the truest voice from your soul. I am listening. O God, the source of life and full of compassion, I come before you with a broken heart and a longing to be renewed. I have chased after the applause of the world only to find my soul empty. Forgive me for the times I have called wrong right and used busyness to excuse a cold heart. Do not let me be captivated by what shines yet lacks your presence. I do not want to gain the whole world and lose my very self. Bring me back, even if it costs me everything, so long as I do not lose you. Make my heart sensitive to the call of your Spirit. And please do not turn away, not even for a moment. Father, full of mercy, yet also the righteous judge, I surrender my soul under your light. If there is any place in me still covered by darkness, shine your light there. If there is anything I have not yet surrendered, point it out. I do not want to live a life of outward religion yet remain a stranger to you. Teach me to love your presence more than achievements, to love truth more than praise, and to love you more than life itself. Pull me away from anything that distracts me from my eternal calling. Anchor my heart at the cross, the only place where I truly live. Redeemer, I have too often used your grace as a license to delay change. I repent. I have taken advantage of your kindness while holding on to what you hate. But today I come without hiding, without excuses. Put to death in me the old self. Burn away everything that does not belong to you. I do not want only to be forgiven. I want to be transformed. Fill me with your Spirit so I may live a life no longer defeated by sin. Holy One, I do not want mere outward change. Renew my mind so that I may know what pleases you. Give me spiritual discernment so I will not blend into the current of the world. No matter what others say, no matter what the world applauds, give me the courage to go against the flow, even if it costs me comfort, even if I am misunderstood, so long as I still stand firm in your light. Eternal One, the one my soul longs for, grant me a life that holds meaning in your eyes, not in accomplishments, not in fame, but in an unshakable relationship with you. Keep me from every subtle distraction. Teach me to guard my heart, guard my time, guard my gaze. Lead me to the place where the applause of man no longer holds sway. There where your voice alone is enough. Loving God, I thank you for not abandoning me when I deserve to be left. Thank you that every morning I wake, I can still hear the call of grace. Thank you that though I once turned away, you waited with eyes full of hope. Your love has kept me from the depths. Your patience is the greatest miracle of my life. Today I offer you all my gratitude, not only for what you have done, but for who you are, the one I love. Holy Father, I thank you that the cross still stands as a guarantee that the lost soul can come home. Thank you that the blood of your Son never runs dry, still flowing for those who repent. I cannot count the times you have protected me from what I could not see. All I can do is offer you a bowed heart, not as a gift, but as the only thing I truly have to give. Lord, ruler of all eternity, I thank you that you are still stirring my heart. Even when I am hard, you gently open it layer by layer. Your love has endured through time, outlasting even my betrayals. Thank you that you still see worth in this soul even when I no longer do. Every moment with you is a gift, and my life now and forever belongs to you. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.